Several things that we are so glad that we did to make the transition smoother to going from the U.S. to Thailand. So whether that's things that we brought with us from the U.S., things that we did from a logistics standpoint, or things that once we got to Thailand, we bought and it made life pristine. So I'm gonna kick it off. My Kobo e-reader. I'm an avid reader. I really enjoy books, knowledge, literature. And we have a lot of books, or we had a lot of books, a lot of physical books. Ain't nothing like the tactile, flipping of the pages, and touching the cover is great. There's no way on God's green earth we were able to ship all of those books and even store all of those books once we got to our residence in Thailand. There was just too much going on with that situation. So we had to consolidate. And the best way to consolidate is, one, keeping some of our staple books in the US, and then having an e-reader. Now, this is my first time having an e-reader, and I did not want an Amazon Kindle.
He was very adamant.
I was extremely adamant. I said, absolutely not. So what did we do? I researched, and Kobo by Rakuten. I love them to pieces. My favorite part about it is that I don't have to buy a single book. I don't have to buy a thing outside of the device because it is directly connected to whatever public library for which you have a library card. That was the key sales point, where it's embedded in it. I don't have to get a third-party app. It's right, like it's called Overdrive. And
connected to Libby.
Connected to Libby, and it's embedded in the Kobo device. When I tell you I've been reading to my heart's desire, to my heart's content, all off the strength of being able to just rent a book through the library, as I would virtually. And the craziest thing, I wasn't expecting this, and I was a little bit worried about it, but I was, okay, let's see if this is gonna work. Yes, while in Thailand, I am renting library books from my local library back in Raleigh, North Carolina. Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
A game changer. Highly recommend. Kobo, y'all need to sponsor us, and I'm gonna keep saying this until y'all do.
We read from your devices literally every day, morning and night.
So what's your thing?
Well, just another note on that. I do appreciate just the reality of us having to consolidate and the ability that Kobo provides us to still be able to read to our heart's desire while also aligning to this more minimalist lifestyle. So I'll be transparent. I bought a book. I sure did. Score by Kennedy Ryan. I could not wait until that book actually went on the library side where I could rent. So I went ahead and bought it, but it was $12 or something like that. It wasn't bad.
Some books are worth the buy.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. I'm just saying I haven't felt the need to buy anything yet.
And how many books do we have back home? At least 50?
Close to 100.
Closer to 100.
Between the both of us, close to 100 physical books.
So originally our box of books we were going to bring out here was large.
It was the size, it was the weight of a teenager. We were not paying for that unnecessarily in shipping, because all that stuff adds up when you're shipping stuff overseas.
Yeah, well, not even the paying part, because we didn't have to pay for shipping, but it was really just the reality of space allocation. So yeah, that's a definitely a joint one. We never actually shared what we were going to talk about, so when he mentioned Kobo, I was like, yes, co-sign to that. Now mine is definitely bringing my Danessa Myricks blurring balm, my all of my EOS body butters and lotions, my hair care products, Design Essentials, Tracy Ellis Ross pattern. These are things that now being here, having gone to Sephora, having gone to the beauty supply stores, I would have been looking stuck like Chuck. I would have been looking about the color of my shirt. For context, Laura Mercier, there is a translucent loose powder that I've used for years to do my final powder setting powder on my face. The darkest one that they had looks like what I use for my under eyes. And this was prior to my stuff actually shipping. We were like, maybe 6 weeks in here. I ran out of powder because I'm constantly having to apply it with all of the heat and all that comes with it. So I ran out of all of my sample size ones I had packed in my suitcase. And when I went in and saw, I think it was the honey one, but mine was like deep honey from back home when I finally got my products back, and I was like, oh, that's why things are off. And so I actually had asked Darian to return it, but turns out here in Thailand, it's very different from the Sephora's back in the US. So Sephora back in the US, you can return within 30 days, even if you've used it, which makes sense because these are products that you need to test on your skin, especially when it comes to more of like the skincare with active ingredients. But here in Thailand, if you've used the product, if you've opened the product, you cannot return it. So what did that mean for me? I'm gonna have a big old thing of under eye powder for probably the entirety of our time out here in Thailand. But this is crucial. So I bought several things of the milk. I forget the name of the product, but they have like a skin tint that works perfectly for my makeup, no makeup days. I bought a ton of the blurring balms from Danessa Myricks. Literally the morning of our flight out from Atlanta, I asked my mom to go to Sally's and she stocked up on some shampoos, some conditioners, some deep conditioners, and my hair is so grateful. So that is, oh, and in addition, very particular when it comes to feminine hygiene products. So I love Honey Pot for their pads and their tampons. Ain't no Honey Pot out here, baby. So, you know, it's just, if you're particular around your beauty, your hair, your feminine products, 10 out of 10 recommend stocking up. Yeah, it may weigh down your bag. I literally had one suitcase that was full of like just products, but your future self will thank you when you can actually match your skin color out here and you can actually be thoroughly moisturized and your hair is actually flourishing because of the products that you brought from back home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Period.
Hair care, body care, beauty care.
Toothpaste, tooth care. Because the toothpaste we've had out here hasn't been
all of that stuff is really important. If you're used to having specific brands from wherever you're coming from, whether it's the US or wherever, moving abroad, making sure you have the things that keep you going. Second thing, this isn't something that we brought with us, but something that we bought once we arrived. It is the step up, step down power transformer.
Hey, you stole mine. I gotta think of something else.
That thing, for context, the outlets that are in the US, standard electricity voltage output is 110 volts. Which means when you plug in something, it needs to be able to withstand 110 volts for it to work properly. Standard outlets in Thailand are 220 volts, which means if you plug in something
like your Nespresso
or some hair clippers,
we both got burned, literally and figuratively.
If you plug in something that cannot handle voltage of up to 222 volts or more, then the device will fry.
You're gonna be looking like this.
Sad, upset, disappointed.
Oh, God.
Distraught. I got more adjectives. See? You got my wife all upset. Now she coughing.
Oh my God. You really just took me back.
So the step up, step down transformer is an an electrical power transformer. It's a heavy box. I'm trying to think of the size. It's almost like the size of a large shoebox.
Can you drop a picture in?
I don't feel like doing our editing. No, just look it up. So type in step up, step down transformer. It'll look like the size of a shoebox. It's heavier than you would expect. And you plug it into whatever the wall socket is. And then make sure you turn the transformer on. And then you plug in whatever devices you need to plug in, whether it's you need something that's a step up. So if you have something that is 110 volts, but the power output is not enough or whatever, you plug in the device to the corresponding plug. So it's 220 volts or 110 volts. Now here's the tricky part. There are some devices that have a range, so they're dual voltage. So it's 110 volts up to 240 volts. And that's where we got messed up, because we looked at the electrical output situation and the specific instructions on the device itself, on the cord itself. Everything ain't for everything. And we thought wrong. So the step up, step down transformer is a game changer. We needed that desperately.
And you do too. You can get it from Power Buy.
Well,
Actually, no, you can't. No, you can't. We learned the hard way.
We had to get that from Shopee.
We had to get it from Shopee. We were told that we can get it from Power Buy. Went in the rain. We're like, we need this. We need this. We got there and they were like, we have these adapters. Adapters and transformers are not the same.
They're not the same. And if you go into any given store, that like the equivalent of a Best Buy, or the equivalent of a, even
like
a Lowe's or a hardware store, you'll walk in and you may ask representative, do you sell transformers? And they may still take you to an adapter. They may still take you to even a grounding plug. What's it called? Like the multi-insertion?
Extension cord?
Yeah, like extension cords and stuff like that. Not everybody understands the difference between an adapter and a transformer. Mm-hmm. So look up, step down transformer on your device, your laptop, your iPad, your phone, and pull up a picture and say, do you have this specific thing? If they don't, keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm. And remember, language barrier is a thing. Don't get caught up.
Yeah, bro.
Because it's not like they're intentionally selling you something that's not what you're asking for. Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, now my next one is quite honestly something I didn't expect. I am grateful that I brought pants for my hips and my thighs and my butt, because is it funny?
Yes, because everything is much smaller here.
Everything is so small. I was so humbled. I went shopping for pants one time and I haven't been back since, because Bangkok has tons of malls. If you've done your research, if you've seen the content, there are so many exciting places to shop, whether it's local designers, there's H&M out here, there's Zara out here. Now, those are the only two places I have been able to find pants where I didn't feel like they were being disrespectful to me. But we did try to shop somewhere where it was more of like the locals, like where they reside and where they be shopping. And I couldn't fit their equivalent to a 3XL. The joint said, it was like running shorts. And the tag said 3XL. Back home, I am maximum. Like when I'm really lifting down there, I'm a large. And I've accepted that. But 3XL, and I still couldn't get it past my thighs. I said the devil is a lie.
I was like, is this 3XL in kids?
In kids? Like, and I've had several other friends who are a bit curvier and they're like, Bree, it's just, Thai people are a lot slimmer as a concept. Of course, they're on a monolith, but yeah, they were like, we're gonna have to go to KL to go shopping, and it's just like, okay, this is part of the reality. So best believe when we go back home for the holidays, I will be shopping all of the deals for, you know, my necessary pants, my skirts, all of that. I will still say I haven't dabbled too much outside of the Zara's and the H&M's. When we first came out here and before the storage unit came, I realized that I packed as if I was going on vacation. So when we were living out of the suitcases alone, I was like, Bria, you cannot wear this vacation dress to the office. You cannot wear this shirt to the office. And so I had to go to H&M, and thankfully we have one at the mall near us. And thankfully they did have my size, and I basically kept those 2 pairs of pants in rotation for like 6 weeks until my stuff got here. But yeah, I look forward to doing a bit of the shopping, but I realize it'll have to be like tops only, and shoes as well. Like Darian has been looking for some soccer cleats for some time, and the highest size you found is what, 11?
Yeah, if you were a 12 and above, you're gonna have to try. You gotta put more effort into finding your size of shoe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm a 10. I haven't shopped out here for shoes. I'm a 10. I'm a size 10. I haven't shopped out here for shoes yet, but my other friend, one of my friends out here who's also a 10, she was like, girl, there's one specific mall I know of that is near the airport that we can go to, but besides that, don't play yourself. So keep this in mind. If you're dark skinned, if you got hips, if you got a booty, if you got big feet, bring your stuff here, because it's gonna be hard to find what you need. Okay. Ooh.
She had to get it off her chest. She been holding that in for about 3 months.
Okay, what's your next one? A sip of water.
Mine is my bike. And I've spoken on this in other videos. You can go find them. The sense of agency, sense of freedom that comes along with having my bike here, having a piece of home in Thailand is really crucial. Now, one thing, I was talking with somebody yesterday. I went for a run, and he and I were discussing. He was like, yeah, I also bike and stuff. And he's like, where do you bike? I was like, I'd be in the street. I'm basically a scooter without a motor, if you want to get specific. He was like, what? That's crazy. And I was like, yeah, I've practiced this. Like I've trained for this.
Do this.
I do this.
I do that. My name do that.
I do this. So I guess a word of caution to somebody who is thinking about coming here and bringing a bike. They do have biking infrastructure. They do have trails. They do have, it's called the Happy and Healthy Bike Lane, that's out near the BKK airport, Bangkok airport, which is amazing. I'll be using my bike for like daily transit plus recreation. So for daily transit, I'm biking through the streets like a vehicle. I don't recommend that for everyone. Like, this is one of those things where it's like, you do not try this at home. What were you about to say?
I be scared when I watch his biking videos. I cannot lie. Yes, we have faith in the Lord. Yes, we have belief in and Darian's capabilities to bike out here. But every time I'm like, ooh, let me support my man and watch one of his videos, I honestly can't even say what I'm about to say without stuttering. Because it terrifies me. But you know, we are grateful every time he walks his tail right back in the house. And it's like, man, I'm home. I'm like, thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Now, the beauty of being able to bike around the city is everything is so accessible. So now, if I need to go to the store real quick, it's actually real quick. When we first got here, and I didn't have a bike, I didn't have control over the transit system. I didn't understand how the trains work, and I wasn't about to get a Grab for everything. So we was walking. We was walking everywhere. Every time we needed a thing, I was
because we were like, oh, it's only 0.25 miles
it's
away.
only 0.25 miles away, but that 0.25 miles,
this heat,
you're gonna. It's like every time you leave your residence, you are gonna have to take a shower when you come back. Every time you leave the crib, it's a commitment.
it's truly like
It is a commitment. So, all that being said, being able to bike to the store means I just get there a little bit quicker. I'm still gonna take that shower. It's cool, but I can still get there more efficiently, and it's just opened up my world so much. So, if you are thinking about bringing your bike, do it.
caveat.
When you bring your bike, don't be surprised when you don't see bike lanes in the streets.
Thank you.
And with that, only bike in the streets if you are an experienced biker.
Thank you.
And you have a helmet and you have lights, front and back lights.
And knee pads and elbow pads.
And shoulder pads.
And
chin
shoulder
pads.
pad. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. My third one, I'm glad we brought, is that cash money. Because I need you to expect that something will go wrong with whatever bank that you set up here, or with whatever way in which you expect to transfer money from your bank back home to here. Like, expect that. And if that doesn't happen, consider it a blessing. Because I remember one time in particular, rent was due. I was like, oh, no problem. I'll just go to the bank. At the bank, I can tell them the routing number for the owner's account. We'll get it done. Send them the slip confirming that it was done. Keep it pushing. No. The bank decided, oh, they're supposed to close at 5. I'll get there at 3. Oh, actually, we're gonna have a company event and not let anyone know, nothing on the door, nothing. Just shh, if you know, you know. I get there. The security guard's like, ma'am, the bank is closed. Huh? No, it can't be closed because I need to pay my rent today. And so I'm over here like, what do I do? Because all of my money was in that one account. This is before I opened up a separate account in Thailand, which in the upcoming video, I'll share why I think that's so important. But nonetheless, I called Darian. I said, babe, the bank is closed. I'm gonna need you to go back to the apartment, get some of the USD cash, transfer that cash to Thai baht, go to the bank, deposit that money into the owner's account. Had we not had that cash at home, we may, I don't know.
We would have figured it out.
We would have figured it out. We would have.
Still.
It was just, we probably would have had to pay a late fee, transparently, because they don't play about that here.
Yeah, or we could have gotten
a friend.
Yeah, we could have gotten a friend to do the transfer and then we transferred the money to them. But
yeah.
Still,
it's just like, not only should you expect for, like, at least while you're in transition, for something to go left in the banking world, but also, yes, there's a ton of QR codes out here. There's a ton of, ways to scan, to pay, tap to pay. But Darian also learned the hard way that some places are cash. Oh, shoot. It wasn't cash only.
Some places are cash only,
Yeah,
and some places are scan only.
Yeah.
Or like digital pay only.
Yeah. So Darian went one day to get smoothies. That was a place where it was scan only, no
That
cash.
was the place that was, there was no cash. Yeah.
Excuse me. But we've gone to places where it's been cash only, no digital. Especially if you're doing like some of the food markets, or I have something in my eye. Some of the food markets, or if you're going to places like the rural parts of Chiang Mai where they only do cash, it's important just to bring enough USD so that you have excess in the event that anything goes left. So that was something we aligned on before we left the US. Literally also the morning of our flight out, headed to the bank, took out quite a bit and was like, this will be our safety net, like worst case scenario. And sure enough, the worst case scenario came and we were able to take care of that. So yeah, I think it's a lot of this when it comes to moving abroad, you of course expect for everything to go well, but there is contingency planning that needs to be taken into account so that you're prepared if things don't turn out as expected. One more thing that I'll say, just piggybacking off little Miss Corporate Girl. One more thing I'll say, piggybacking off of Darian's comment around the bike, is I am so glad I brought my Peloton. It is a piece of home, as Darian mentioned, for him, but also it's a bit of normalcy that I can come home to and enjoy when the connection issues aren't happening with the Wi-Fi, which is something I need to figure out, because there's nothing worse than being in the middle of a ride, sweating, being like, AT yelling at you, go, 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 and then everything freezes for 2 minutes. And you just continue pedaling because you're like, okay, come on. That's a sidebar. The point is, having a familiar trainer that I have worked with for years virtually, and having music from back home that I can just like ride to. And yes, I can, listen to music on my phone and all of that, but it's a different thing, like actually working out with other people and singing along with other people. And the familiarity of my bike, like that was my go-to, my everything during the pandemic when I couldn't go to studios or I couldn't go to a gym. Like, I am very grateful we brought the Peloton. She is causing a bit of a challenge with respect to space equity in our condo, but nonetheless, I am grateful that we were able to bring that out here. And thankfully, that was one of the electronics that we brought that did not require the transmitter. So, transformer. So,
your Peloton is dual voltage.
Yeah.
It goes, 100 to 240 volts. You're good.
You're good. So yeah, those are just a few of the things that we're glad that we brought, glad that we did.
I have something about the money part.
Yeah.
One, when you're transferring or you're exchanging money in Thailand, not all currency exchange places operate the same.
That's good.
Two, and when I say that, I mean they don't all have the same exact rate. Mm-hmm. The exchange rate changes daily because it's a money market. So just think like stock exchange, the price of any given thing changes daily, which means any given amount of money that you're trying to exchange, I would say don't exchange every dollar that you have on the first day that you get here with the first currency exchange rate that you see. I would say exchange, piecemeal as you go, as appropriate as possible, and go to the places where your hard passport is required. Typically, there are some spaces where they can let you buy with just an ID or let you buy with like a copy of your passport. But from personal experience, I've seen the best exchange rates come with you using a physical passport, and depending on the specific place.
Which one's your favorite?
So far, my favorite is it's called Super Rich. That's one. Super Rich.
Super Rich has a very good conversion rate, and there's no fee.
Yeah, Super Rich. They've been the most solid. I'm thinking of the two specific places. It's Super Rich. It's Orange in M Sphere. That's a mall, and then there's Super Rich Currency Exchange in Terminal 21 on floor G. That's hyper specific, and it will only matter if you actually come here. But also, when you are and when you're exchanging money, I advise against exchanging a whole bunch of money all at once, because depending on when you exchange, there may be one day when the exchange rate is a little bit lower, and that'll be the day when you're like, okay, I just need a little bit, so I just exchange a little bit. But then for the days when the exchange rate is really high and you get more bang for your buck, then you exchange a little bit more on that day. But yeah, I make it a habit of not carrying too much cash on me at any given moment in time, just out of like safety, and you just never know what's going to happen. Not even talking about theft, but what if you like lose your bag for whatever reason, lose whatever you're carrying the money in.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are two key pieces on the money front. That's all I have to say.
And the interesting thing, when we got here, it was around 30 USD. Sorry, 30 baht per 1 USD. And since we've been here, I've seen up to 34 baht for 1 USD. So yeah, it's been interesting. And I'll text Arian like, hey,
it's 3401.
Go exchange some money. But now, like that was in our preliminary time here. But yeah, it's been a journey. It's been an experience. I'm grateful that we were proactive with many of the things that we chose to bring here, as well as some of the things that we were intentional about buying once we got here. We literally have a whole corner of our condo that's just for our US-based devices that need to be connected to the transformer. But besides that, like I've also heard friends mention that blenders are a lot more expensive out here. TVs are a lot more, I think that's subjective depending on which one you're trying to get. But blenders for sure. Nespresso, my poor Nespresso got fried. So that was more expensive out here than the one in the US for the same exact model. So keep this in mind this year if you're also moving from the US or from the UK and just trying to consider what to bring and what not to bring. But yeah, that's that. If y'all have any questions or if there's any specific items where you're like, hey, is this something I should bring or not? Like, don't bring your TV. There's plenty of TVs in these condos. Anyways, if you have any...
Don't bring your bed. Don't bring your couch.
Don't bring your mattress, child.
If you're getting a fully furnished residence, don't bring a whole bunch of heavy-duty furniture.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness.
But
avoid that if possible.
Alrighty, well, that is all for today. Let us know if y'all have any questions, comments, concerns in the comment section, and we will see y'all next time. Peace.
Deuces.